Hi everyone, thanks to watching this video. Today I'm going to talk about Java thread pool. So first, why we need Java thread pool? First of all, so when we go for multi-threaded environment, if you are not keeping the multiple thread in the thread pool, then you will end up to create n number of thread, more thread, and each and every thread will consume the memory. Means it will create one stack memory, and it will consume CPU as well. So if you keep on creating the thread, then it will internally it will consume the memory and the processor. So it will be end up to insufficient resource. So to avoid that, in the multi-threaded environment, best architecture will be like a thread pool. So wherever we'll try to use multi-threaded the multi-threading, then we have better option. Will be creating a thread pool. So let's say if I want to run my application with five or six thread, then I have to create we can create a thread pool, and we'll keep five thread initially. If it is required later on, we can increase it. So the major advantage of these thread pool will be like we can reuse it. We can reuse the thread. Let's say if you are assigning on task to one thread, once it's completed, then you can keep that thread. It will be available in the thread pool. Then the next task will come, then it will be processed by the same thread. So no need to recreate, no need to uh, terminate the thread and recreate it. So to avoid that, that memory creation and cleanup task, so we can a better option will be we can use a thread pool. Okay, so now we'll see how to create our own thread pool. So the Java already has that executor service. It's a executor service framework which will support uh, thread pool. So we can use it up, or we can create our own thread pool. So in this video I'm going to explain how to create our own thread pool. Okay, so to understand the concept, so I'm going to explain how to create our own thread pool. Okay, so thread pool, so we are going to create thread pool, then that we have to concentrate on three tasks. So okay, so first I need to create the thread pool. Then I need to submit the task to that task to process by the thread. Then I need to stop that thread pool. So these are the basic tasks we have to concentrate when we try to create the thread pool. Okay, let's see one by one. Okay, so this is the structural diagram which I'm representing the my own thread pool. Okay, so so what are the component I'm using in this thread pool? So I'm using blocking queue to keep the task. So task queue. So I'm keeping it in the blocking queue. There is a reason to why I'm using the blocking queue to keep the task. So that I'll explain in a minute. So okay, so let me complete the structure. Okay, so here I'm using one blocking queue to store that task, and I'm using one collection, either list or array list, to keep the worker thread. So let's say in my thread, I'm going to create the thread pool. So I'm going to specify I'm going to submit five task, and 10 thread max. Then so based on that configuration, it will create this worker thread list as well as the queue size. Okay, so first I'm using blocking queue, and array list I'm using here. Then with that we can handle this thread pool. concept. Okay, so in this the component, there are three component. It's nothing but it's a class in my case. Okay, so I'm using three classes. One is for thread pool, means my own thread pool class. It's nothing but Java, just Java plain class. Okay, then second one will be a worker thread. It's again worker thread. It's nothing but I'm implementing runnable method, runnable interface, and it's a thread, kind of thread to thread to execute the task, the given task. Okay, then thread pool consumer. So how to consume these thread newly created thread pool. So that is a thread pool consumer class. So these three class I'm using it for my example. So now let's see how why I'm selecting the blocking queue, in the sense, like let's say if I'm using normal thread. So what it will happen once uh, sorry, once the runnable method, let's say if my worker thread, it pick up one task, and once it complete the run method, once it complete the run method, by default, if it is normal, if I'm using a normal queue, normal array collection, then once it will complete the one task, then once the run method it's completed, then it will terminate. It will by default, it will go to terminate state. So this thread will not alive. Okay, so to keep this thread keep on alive, so the blocking queue has the special capabilities to hold this thread alive. Okay, so what it will happen, it will block the thread, means once the task is completed, then it will pick up the next task. If in case there is no task, it will keep alive this thread, so until to get the task in the blocking queue. So that means these five thread will never end up until unless uh, externally we terminate or stop all the thread. So by default it will be alive, and it will keep on check this blocking queue. Then once the get the task, then immediately any one of that worker thread will pick up this task, and it will execute. So that is the reason here we are using the blocking queue. That is the special capabilities of the blocking queue. We'll see the blocking queue, the uh, blocking queue properties in detail in the next video. Okay, so this is the architecture. Let's see now one by one. Okay, so these thread thread pool basic things will be, first we need to submit the task. Submit the task is nothing but it's enqueue, means first it should these thread pool should accept should give option to create create thread pool, create option, and the next one will be, it should take the job, it should take that runnables. Then next will be, it should allow me to terminate or clean up or end up this thread pool. So these three tasks is it should support. Basic task should support any of the thread pool which we are going to create. Okay, so I'm considering these three functionality, and I'm trying to create the thread pool. Okay, so how to create so that's what. So it should, my thread pool object should uh, support the basic functionality. One is create thread pool. It should allow to create thread pool, and then it should accept the task, and it should allow me to stop or remove the thread pool. Okay, so these are the basic things. Okay, now first first I will explain the thread pool class. It's nothing but it means my own thread pool. My own thread pool class. So in this, um, just a normal Java class, normal Java class which I'm creating. Sorry. So here, own thread pool class. So here I'm declaring the blocking queue to blocking queue to keep the task. Okay, so here, as I told, I have the constructor to create the thread pool. Thread pool. So these constructor will accept number of thread. So in that thread pool, how many thread initially I'm going to create? Okay, so let's say for in my thread pool, I'm going to create six thread initially, and the maximum number of tasks it will allow will be a maximum will be six tasks I'm considering, okay, for my use case. Okay, um so I'm creating one constructor, and then it will accept number of thread and number of maximum task. Okay, so these based on these two input values, initializing the task queue and thread list. Okay, so for what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to loop through the number of thread, then I'm trying to create the worker thread. I'm trying to create the worker thread. Let's say if it is input will be five or six, then it will loop through five or six times. Then it will create the worker thread, and by passing the first, I will create the blocking queue. I'm creating the blocking queue based on the number of tasks, maximum number of task allowed. Then that queue blocking queue, it's given it as a input values for the worker thread, so that it means giving access, basically giving access to this blocking queue, so that it will read the task from that and it will process it. Okay, so I'm creating the worker thread. um, Worker thread, the once it worker thread got created, then I'm adding it into thread list. So why I'm adding this worker thread into list, then um, uh, there is a reason. So basically that there is a two reason. One is to clean up. So when one option will be, once I added into that list, then I will start this thread. Then when I clean up that, I delete this thread pool object, then that time we need to clean up all the worker thread. We have to stop all the thread. So that is the reason I'm keeping it in the array, in the collection object, any of the collection object. I'm using array list. Okay, in that I'm adding all the thread. Okay, so so here I'm creating it, then worker thread equal to runnable. Then so what I'm trying to do, basically I'm creating the worker thread, and I'm starting the thread. Okay, I'm starting the worker thread. So now what it will happen? So thread pool object got created, and task list means a blocking queue got created for task queue, and five or six thread based on the input. It will create the worker thread, and that worker thread, it's in started. It's in runnable state now. Okay, so here the second method, the first method will be the create option. It's create process will happen in the constructor itself. Our own thread pool class constructor itself will help to create the thread pool. So once it got created, then next method will be submit method. So it will accept runnable task. Okay, it will accept the runnable task. So the submit method, what it will do, it would accept the runnable, and it will add it into uh, task queue. It's nothing but blocking queue. In the blocking queue, by using offer method, I'm trying to add this a task. Okay, so whenever I'll use this method and I submit that runnable, it will add it into the uh, uh, task. So before that it will check that the thread pool it's stopped or it's in running state. If it is stopped, means it won't accept through the legal state exception. If not stopped, then it will accept the task. Okay, then the third method will be a stop method. So once you complete all your process, all your task, then at the end you need to clean up. It means you need to stop all the thread which you have started um, in, uh, in the thread pool. Let's say 5 6 worker thread if you will start creator, right? So all those things you need to stop. Okay, so after completing your task, so that that time it will the stop method will you we have to call, what it will do, it will do the it will call the do stop of worker thread. So worker the two stop, it's nothing but it's so I defined one method in the worker thread. What it will basically, it will internally, it will invoke the interrupt method. Okay, so we cannot directly call stop method of the of any thread, means it's a deprecated method, and also it's removed from Java 8 onwards. So I'm using interrupt method mm, to stop the thread. So the I'll tell you what is the difference between stop and interrupt at the end of this session. Okay, these three method will be a uh, will be, one is create, and the second one will be submit, and the third one will be a stop. So these three methods should be there in one thread pool class. It's a normal plain class. Okay, plain Java class. Okay, then third will be worker thread. It's a thread, it's implementing worker thread, nothing but it's a thread, it's implementing um, runnable interface. It's a normal normal thread I'm creating. So what it will, the task will be, or what is the purpose of this worker thread, in the sense, just it will pick the task from the task queue, means from the blocking queue in our case, and it will process the task. If the task is available, it will pick it up and it will process. If task is not available in the queue, then it will wait for the task. Okay, it won't terminate, it will be keep on alive. So that is the that's what we are using the blocking queue. Okay, should not terminate once it's completed. To achieve this, we are going to use the blocking queue. That is the reason I use the blocking queue. Okay, so these three, it's an important task of the worker thread. So now let's, with this point, let's see how to create the worker thread. Okay, Mm, I have created the worker thread. It's implementing runnable, uh, normal runnable interface. Okay, um, so this first task will be, it will so when we create this worker thread, when we create the worker thread, it will accept the blocking queue. Blocking queue means it will get the access permission for that blocking queue. Okay, so what constructor itself. Okay, then so what we are using run method. Run method, what it will do, so it will, so here in the constructor, what we are getting that input blocking queue values, blocking queue reference, right? So we will assign it into blocking queue, this task blocking queue. Then we have run method, then it will um, it will check that current thread, it's means anyone it's requested this the worker or worker thread is is stopped. If it is the worker thread is not stopped, then what it will do, this is what first it will pick. First task will be mm, pick the task from the task queue. Okay, since we are using array blocking queue, so it will I'm using take method. Take method, it will pick the task. If it is available, then it will pick and it will run. It will run directly, it will run the run method of that particular task. It's nothing but we are submitting task object as a implementation of runnable. Okay, it means so that is what it will be in same pattern. So so whenever you submit the task, it should be any task, it should be implementation of runnable, and you need to override the run method, and from in the run method you have to give the um, your logic, what task you want to execute. Okay, so this here directly we are calling the run method. So means this task, it's not considered as a thread, it's considered as a normal object, and it will process the run method. Okay, there will be a different this task is not a thread, it's task, it's a normal object with by implementing runnable interface. Okay, so here in the runnable, it will pick the task and it will run it. Okay, so that task, the once it's complete, the run method keep alive this worker thread, all those things will taken care by this blocking queue. Okay, we are not going to write any code to keep this thread alive, so just we are keeping the run method within the run method to process the task. Okay, if task is available or not available, if so all those things is taken care by the blocking queue. Okay, sorry, worker thread. Okay, okay, so then one more method, we have do stop. Do stop, we are calling it from the our own thread pool object. We are calling it to uh, let's say if you want to clean up your thread pool, then you can submit the stop method. You can call the stop method of your own thread pool class. Okay, so what the own thread pool class, what it will happen, it will internally, it will call the do stop method of worker thread. Okay, okay, so on the do stop method, in the do stop method, what we are trying to do, we are trying to call the interrupt, now normal Java class interrupt method. So what it will do, interrupt method, what it will do, just it will request to the thread scheduler to for stop this thread. It will not stop immediately. So once if this thread is running or holding some lock, so it will release everything, then it will go for stop. So okay, so that is, so if we are calling directly, we are calling the stop method, then what it will happen, it will hold all the logs, and all the resources. Simply it will terminate the thread. So what it will happen, so that it will lead to means like it's not able, or deadlock means other thread cannot able to use. So that is the reason that the stop method is deprecated. So we are using interrupt method. Interrupt method, it's a kind of graceful stop. Okay, so now we seen how to create our own thread pool object, and then uh, what is the worker thread. Now we will see how to consume our thread pool object, and how to submit the task, how to stop. Okay, so we have three method in our own thread pool class to support all those things. So we'll see how to test. Okay, so these are the three tasks, like create thread pool, submit the task, stop thread pool. Once complete all those tasks, then you can stop your thread pool, or you can clean up your task, your thread pool. Okay, so sorry, so here is the thread pool class, consumer class. So just a normal Java class. So here main method it has. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create the thread pool. So I'm create the instance of my own thread pool class. Okay, by giving 3 and 10, means it will, what it will, 3 mean 3 means number of thread, 3 thread, and 10 um, 10 task maximum it will accept. Okay, means it's a size of blocking queue. Okay, so what it will do, it will so once I create the thread pool, then I can submit the task for this thread pool. So now once this is executed, it will create it will create three thread, three thread it will create, and it will create blocking queue with 10 uh, size. Okay, so once then we can loop through, 6 or 10, and we maximum 10 we can do, and we can submit the task. Okay. So by calling the submit method, and the submit method, basically what it will accept, it will accept implementation of runnable. Okay, implementation of runnable. We have to submit the task as a runnable implementation. Okay. uh, so here I'm using lambda expression, just I'm using lambda, so it will implementation of this runnable method uh, based on your structure. Means like a submit method input parameter, it will convert. So that is what this lambda expression it will do. It will mm, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get the worker thread name and task number. So task number I'm passing this input value, and I'm printing. So the just is printing the I'm not doing any task on that, just I'm printing system.out.println, and I'm using to just to display. So that is the task which I'm submitting to the thread pool. Okay, so the thread pool will execute this task from the thread which is available. Okay, so I'm submitting it. So I'm loop through this 6 time, and I'm submitting 6 tasks. Okay, then what I'm trying to do, once this is all those things it's completed, then I can I'm clean up that I'm calling the stop method. Okay, in the stop method, what it will do, it will basically it will submit internally, it will submit interrupt request of all our worker thread. Okay, so that is what it will internally it will do. Okay, so these are that basic way to create our own thread pool. So this code it's almost working code. If you want, you can copy paste, and you can try it out yourself. Okay, if you have any doubt, or if you have any questions, you can post it in the comments. I will answer it. Okay, I apologize for if I make any mistake. Okay, I'm trying my best. Okay, so if you have any comments, any feedback, you can post it in the comment section. So I will take it up, and I will improve myself also. Okay, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see this kind of video, you can subscribe to Java Tech Form. So I'm going to post almost 2 days one video in this channel. You will get that update. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching.